Hello everyone. So welcome to our new lecture. Now in this lecture we are going to see how to write a chemical equation. Okay. So we know chemical equation is nothing but wherein we represent the chemical reaction. Okay. So if two or more molecular compounds are reacting with each other and they are forming a new compound with a different composition, then this process is nothing but a chemical reaction, okay, or a chemical change. So we represent the chemical change in the form of equation which is called as chemical equation. Now definitely a chemical equation have reactants and products. Now let us try to understand how to write a chemical equation. I will take one example, that is reaction of copper sulfate solution with zinc dust. In that case, you are going to get the solution of zinc sulfate plus copper particles. Now, this is a chemical equation representing a reaction. Okay, so definitely copper sulfate and zinc are my reactants, and ZnSO4 and Cu are my products. So zinc sulfate and copper are my products. As you can see, if the number of reactant is more than 1, we separate the reactants by a positive sign or plus sign in between the reactants. Okay, so as we can see, there are two reactants, so these two reactants are separated by a positive sign. Okay, and an arrow is placed between the reactants and the product, and the head of the arrow is towards the product. Okay, the head of the arrow is towards the product. So this arrow is used to indicate the direction of the reaction. Okay, so the reaction is taking place in this particular direction, wherein on the left side you will find the reactants and on the right side of arrow you will find the products. Okay, now also in the reaction or in equation we can also put some symbols which will give us an idea of the states of all the reactants and the product. Okay, so the physical states of reactants and products can be indicated in the chemical equation. So as copper sulfate solution is there, definitely it is in aqueous state, so AQ. Okay, zinc dust, so definitely it is in solid state. Then the solution of zinc sulfate is forming over here, so it is going to be in aqueous state, and copper particles are there as a product and it is in solid state. So in the equation you can see reactants are there on the left side of an arrow, on the right side you will see products. The head of the arrow is always towards the product, and this arrow indicates the direction of the reaction. Also, we can put some symbols below the molecular formula that is going to be show us the physical states of the reactants and the product. So in this case you can see the physical state of copper sulfate solution, that is aqueous solution, it means it is in liquid state, but here AQ, that is aqueous. So it shows us that the copper sulfate is mixed in water. Okay, so water solution यहाँ पे prepare किया गया है copper sulfate का, that is why aqueous solution. Then zinc is in solid state. After the reaction, zinc sulfate is formed which is in aqueous state, and copper particles are generated which are in solid state. Okay, now also in the reaction we can represent some different parameters or conditions in which the reaction has taken place. For example, the heating of limestone or lime soda, that is CaCO3, okay, calcium carbonate. If we heat calcium carbonate, we are going to get CaO, that is calcium oxide, plus CO2, that is carbon dioxide. So when we heat calcium carbonate, okay, we are going to get calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So calcium carbonate, that is limestone, and calcium oxide plus CO2. Okay, so calcium carbonate is in solid state, which is heated, and calcium oxide is in also solid state, but CO2 is going to be in gaseous state. Okay, now the reaction is a combustion reaction where we have heated the reactant. So if we want to represent that in our chemical equation, what we can do, we can just place this symbol over the arrow, and this symbol is showing us that the calcium carbonate has been heated to get calcium oxide and CO2. Okay, so we can use symbols over the arrow or below the arrow, okay, which is going to indicate some physical parameters or the process in which the reaction is performed. Let me give one more example. Let us represent a process of manufacturing or producing Vanaspati ghee. Okay, so Vanaspati ghee is made by mixing or by treating vegetable oil in presence of hydrogen gas. Okay, we heat the vegetable oil to a temperature of 60 degrees Celsius, and to boost the reaction we use nickel as a catalyst. Okay, so nickel is used as a catalyst, and then we get Vanaspati ghee. What we get? Vanaspati ghee. Now in this particular reaction you can see the vegetable oil definitely in liquid state, hydrogen gas, so gaseous state, Vanaspati ghee obviously in semi-solid or solid state. Okay, so now in this reaction also you can see reactants definitely placed on the left side of arrow, the product, that is Vanaspati ghee, on the right side, and symbols are used to indicate their states. Also over the arrow or above the arrow you can see 60 degrees Celsius, which is representing the temperature at which the reaction is taking place, and below the arrow you can see nickel. Okay, that is the catalyst used to boost the rate of the reaction. Also, we write the names of the reactants and the product below the molecular formula. So as CuSO4, that is copper sulfate, this is zinc, then this is zinc sulfate, and this is copper. So below the molecular formula in the chemical equation, we can also state the names of the compounds. Okay, so in this way we write a chemical equation. This is it for today's lecture. In this lecture we have seen how to write a chemical equation. Now in the next lecture we will see how to balance a chemical equation. Okay, so if certain equation is given to you, you have to judge whether the equation is correct or not, whether it is balanced or not, and if it is not balanced, then how to make it a balanced equation. Okay, so we will deal with this point in the next lecture. Until then, goodbye.